I'm sorry, didn't hear you. If you turn on your microphone, I can't hear you.
Have we heard from Councilwoman Stevens?
No, we haven't. We're texting her now.
Shot Jackson. Text. The Cuyahoga County Council Committee of the Whole meeting for Tuesday, January 11th, 2022 is now called to order. Andrea, would you please call the roll?
Good afternoon, everyone. It is now 4:08 p.m. And as a reminder to all in attendance, this meeting is being recorded and live streamed on the county YouTube page. Calling the roll, Mr. Schran.
He's here.
He's here.
Okay.
He'll be here shortly.
Ms. Conwell,
Present.
Ms. Turner,
Present.
Ms. Stevens. Absent at the moment. Ms. Simon.
Here.
Ms. Baker.
Here.
Mr. Miller.
Here.
Mr. Sweeney.
Present.
Mr. Tuma.
Here.
Mr. Gallagher.
Here.
Council President Jones.
Here.
You have a quorum.
Thank you, Andrea. Has anyone signed in for public comment?
No, Council President, no public comment has been submitted.
All right, thank you. All meetings of the Cuyahoga County Council are open to the public under the Ohio Open Meetings laws. Under that law, council may go into executive session during a meeting for specifically authorized purposes. During executive session, council confers outside of the hearing of the public. Council may not make any decisions about any matters in executive session. All decisions are made in public. This afternoon, the council will go into executive session to discuss a collective bargaining matter. During this time, our live stream will be down, and we ask all those not specifically needed for the executive session to remain in council chambers. Council members will convene in the adjacent Committee Room A and will re-enter the meeting once the executive session has ended. Is there a motion to go into executive session for the purposes of discussing a collective bargaining matter?
So moved.
Second. It has been properly moved and seconded. Clerk, please call the roll on the motion to go into executive session.
Ms. Baker, Mr. Miller,
Yes.
Mr. Sweeney,
Yes.
Mr. Tuma,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher,
Yes.
Mr. Schran, Ms. Conwell,
Yes.
Ms. Turner,
Yes.
Ms. Stevens is absent, Ms. Simon,
Yes.
Council President Jones.
Yes,
The motion carries.
thank you. The ayes have it. We will adjourn the meeting for an executive session.
Council
All
President,
right. Yes.
I would like the record to reflect that Ms. Stevens is in attendance.
All right. Thank you. All right. After executive session, we are reconvening the council meeting, and we are now back on the record. All right. Is there any miscellaneous business? Not?
Council President,
Yes.
we have an item B for discussion only. May I read it into the record?
Please do. Thank you.
An amendment to contract number CE 1900-330 with Highland Group, Inc. for insurance, brokerage, and risk management services for the period January 1st, 2020 through December 31st, 2021, to extend the time period to December 31st, 2022, and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $2,571,470.
Right. I'm here to speak to this matter.
So this is an item of some urgency, and I would ask for presentation on the background of this legislation, how we got here, and why the legislation is urgent.
Thank you, Mr. Councilman, thank you, Chairman. There is an item that was introduced back in, I think, the second meeting of November of last year. It's Resolution R 2021-0282. It authorizes us to exercise an option in the existing contract we have with Highland, that's Highland with a T, our insurance brokerage firm, and to carry us through this coming year, through 2022. There will be coming to you, if you agree, if accepted, there's a proposed substitute that actually lowers the dollar amount that's in that resolution. You heard the amount read earlier, but we're going to be bringing it down to $1,579,611. So it's a change of about $1.5 million or so, and that's due largely to the fact that we were transferring those properties over to Metro. So we knocked about $700,000 in premiums off, and then we've also through AWATF and the folks at Highland been able to bring down the premiums overall. Now, as we said, this was introduced last year. We were thinking about trying to get it through to get passed at the first meeting in December, but we had some problems with this contract in Infor in that it's actually being paid, at the time was being paid out of two sources. But somehow all of the, or most of the budget got charged to a single source. And when it came time then to process any of the amendments, Infor shut it down. Now, why Infor didn't shut it down before that, I don't fully understand, but we decided we needed to get that fixed before we brought it forward to get it actually approved. So, working with Catherine and the folks in purchasing, we've got that fixed, and we've worked with OBM to sort out all the dollars, so we know the dollars are all in the right place. And Infor is going to be able to go forward now with the corrected amendment. So, as I said, we're bringing it down to $1,579,000. I've got a spreadsheet here, but it's the one that's in front of you.
Spreadsheet has been distributed.
Yeah.
Everybody has them.
That lays out all of the premiums that we're looking for going forward. Now, this contract did expire at the end of last year, but again, working because we're such a good client of CNA, I think it is, they agreed to keep us insured through January, provided we get them paid in January. So that's why I'm here today, asking to have this hopefully approved at the meeting this evening, so we can get the payments processed to get the premiums, or at least the first bill paid this year, so we can keep the insurance going.
So,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
so Director, could you explain to us the problem we ran into about the cyber insurance?
Well, if you don't mind, I've got Jeremy Mio here, who's been kind of the real point of contact for the cyber side, but essentially it's just gone nuts in terms of the cost. So, Jeremy, you want to, I can throw out a lifeline here. I'll have him.
Greg, is the microphone on?
Yes. Jeremy Mio, Department of IT. So with the cyber insurance, and this is a global thing, a lot of larger insurers have been dropping local governments and municipalities throughout the United States. It is very hard to get cyber insurance as a municipality, and a lot of the assurers out there will not accept or even entertain giving insurance to a municipality or even a state government. So a lot of the insurance industry has just gotten out of that market. With that said, we shopped around and went through a lot of meetings with both the broker as well as the law department to get cyber insurance through a separate company. And that's now been split out into two companies to get the same amount of insurance. So I believe, and I don't have it in front of me right now, but we have $5 million in insurance split out between two separate insurers.
Are there any other questions from my colleagues regarding this contract? Ms. Conwell.
Through the chair to the law director, I just wanted to know, you talked about the payment. Now, I wanted to be clear, do we give them that 1.5 up front, or how often are we billed for the insurance?
I believe we get billed quarterly, is that correct? Yeah, we get billed quarterly, yes.
Okay, and do you have that broken down, what that is?
Oh, no, I'm
Does
sorry.
does that include this cyber insurance? Or
Yes.
is this?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you'll see on the spreadsheet, there's a first column there called renewal and timing. Those shows all the ones that expired at the end of last year and will expire at the end of this year. And then there's some mid-year ones that expire that we'll pay for when those expire. Keep those going.
Thank you.
So, to provide a little background to my colleagues, what we're actually doing here is that we're contracting for a risk manager. And a relatively small portion of the contract is for the risk management services themselves. And then most of the contract is for various insurance coverages that the risk manager goes out and helps line up on our behalf.
Right, correct.
So, assuming that we're okay with proceeding, what would then happen is that at tonight's council meeting, since we did not have a formal hearing and we only had an informal discussion, the legislation would be discharged from the Finance and Budgeting Committee where it currently sits by a motion. And then after that happens, I will move for approval, and then I'll move for approval of the substitute. And then after that, the president will call for approval of the resolution as substituted under second reading suspension. Any other questions? Hearing none, I will turn the meeting back over to the council president.
And thank you, Councilman Miller. This is an item that would have been in your committee.
Yes.
Certainly appreciate you following through. And did you want to continue?
I do support the legislation, so I
Bring it home.
Well, there would not be any further action at this time. It would be done in the council meeting itself.
So at this time, just so I'm clear, what do we need to do, if anything?
We need to ask if there's any miscellaneous business, and then if
all
not,
right.
adjourn
Okay.
the meeting.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Again, any miscellaneous business?
Yes.
Councilman Miller.
Mr. President and my colleagues, I would just like to take this this opportunity to congratulate my colleague Cheryl Stevens on the tremendous honor of being chosen to run for Lieutenant Governor of the state of Ohio. That is a really tremendous accomplishment, and it also reflects very well on the county council as a whole. Congratulations.
And I echo those same thoughts. Didn't know if we were going to see you today. We were expecting you to possibly not be here. So
In the immortal words from the Wizard of Oz, there's no place like
no
home.
place like home. That's all right, man. It's all right. Okay. But again, we wish you all the best. All right. Okay. Any other comments, thoughts? If not, our meeting is adjourned. We will reconvene for our 5 p.m. council meeting. Thank you.